Paper Mario: The Thousand-Year Door is the pure definition of comfort. From beautiful hub worlds to adorable partners, this remake truly had a lasting impression upon me. I felt so addicted to the point where I was willing to grind it every day from sunrise to sunset. Not to mention the fact that Peach actually gets to do something for once. And with this Paper Mario entry being a roller coaster of emotions, let's get out that tattle and see how a legendary classic is able to comfort your soul. Let's rewind to the year 2004, shall we? You're 7 years old, home after a long day of school, and playing on your legendary GameCube. You boot up Thousand-Year Door, and soon, you're brought into a world of pure imagination. You're adventuring, boss fighting, and meeting new friends alongside drinking that discount Choco Milk. Now, flash forward 20 years later. You're a fully grown adult going home after a long day at work. The minute you hear about this childhood classic getting a remake, you scream with joy and hop aboard the hype train. And the best part is that your kids and the newer generations who didn't get to play it the first time round finally have a chance to experience it. And that also includes me, because even though I have never ever played the original version of Thousand-Year Door, this glow-up goes absolutely hard. I think this perfectly describes the experience of getting to play it in 4K. Getting to see such legendary storytelling in a Mario game, in addition to battling it out on a theatrical stage, is the definition of badass. It's also comforting how the more you play, the more of your friends get added to the title screen. Speaking of which, we have finally arrived at the moment you guys have been waiting for. Let's talk about the partners. The newer Paper Mario games are honestly notorious for having forgettable partners that fall flat on their face in terms of character. But the ones in Thousand-Year Door are so comfy to the point where I could cuddle them all day long. First in line is the nerdy girl herself, Goombella. Go Goombas! My favorite part about her is just how sassy she is. I mean, the fact that she's willing to call an entire army of wannabe villains bozos just proves it. She even has the guts to roast bozos that are twice her size. Please! Oh, and her braininess is so OP to the point where I literally tattled for every single boss fight. She's basically the Toadette of the Goombas, you know? As for Koops, well, I gotta say that he's one of the most relatable characters in the whole game. He's really shy and scared, you know? But at the same time, it's so brave of him to join Mario and finally get the chance to slay Hooktail. He just wanted to avenge his father and prove his worth, and he sure did succeed at that. All in all, he's all about the growth. Flurry sure loves to make an entrance under the spotlight, you know? She's so full of charm to the point where it can literally make a guy like Mario faint. She even gives off mother vibes, especially when she uses such caring names. And by the time we fight Rockhawk, her dreams of audience delight and being on stage finally come to fruition. Not to mention the way she blows her kisses all the time. Guess you could call her a flirt-y. Yoshi Kid is adorable, and he's always willing to take on the most daunting of tasks. He's always capable of squaring off against the toughest of champs, and it shows how determined he is to become #1. It's so adorable and OP to see him eat those losers for breakfast. He perfectly captures my and everyone else's passion for competitive esports, wanting to kick names and take ass. Not to mention how he gets called an Eggy Weggy. Aww. Vivian is the definition of cute. Even when working for the baddies, she always brings out her own charisma. But I adore her because of one key word: loyalty. Especially when she ditches her jerk sisters and bonds with Mario. It truly goes to show how they're so sweet to each other. Not to mention all the joy and fangirling she always expresses being with him. It always puts a smile on my face. Lastly, we shall fully acknowledge the fact that she has officially been confirmed to be trans. Hooray to LGBTQ representation, yippee! And last but certainly not least, we gotta salute good old Bobbery. You can't help but feel pity when you first meet him. I mean, the dude literally lost his beloved wife for crying out loud. Okay, that's just way too depressing. On a more lighthearted note, it's especially touching to see how his late wife's letter helped Bobbery regain his confidence to explore the seas again. He's a true example of no matter how dead your passion may be, all it takes is one little candle to reignite it. But wait, aren't we forgetting some people? The answer is absolutely yes. In that case, say hello to King Koopa himself, Bowser. I gotta say, with Bozo stealing the spotlight, it's about dang time we saw him. Getting the chance to play him and plowing effortlessly through colorful 2D levels feels hella satisfying. He even has an amazing sense of humor, whether it be roasting the little hag or becoming enraged when the X-Nauts kidnap his girl first. And seeing how he always fails and ends up embarrassing himself is so freaking funny. Shoutouts to when he had the most legendary villain versus villain face-off with Lord Crump. And him crash landing on Grotus at the tail end felt so good. After all, what's a true finale without a Bowser appearance? I also love how we can take solace in the fact that Peach is alright and actually gets to have a subplot. I mean, the X-Nauts were generous enough to grant her a blushy shower and her own bedroom. Hell, Grotus, as sadistic as he is, outright says that she is not to be mistreated. Not to mention the fact that she was literally put under the protection of a flirty computer. But we'll get back to him later, fellas. To sum it up, even though Peach has been peach-napped yet again, she still remains in relative comfort. Well, until the final 2 chapters, that is. The point I'm trying to make here is that seeing Mario, Peach, and Bowser's perspectives all at once is what makes the storyline feel so unique. In most Mario games, you only really get to see the latter for 90% of the story, and that's about it. Seeing all 3 fleshed out subverts our expectations in the best way imaginable. And the more we get to see them, the more comfy we feel. And before I end up forgetting, we gotta touch on how comforting each of the worlds are too. First, we have Rogueport. Although it's full of gangsters and sketchiness, we can't judge it by its cover. For one, it looks immensely beautiful in the opening cutscene. And second, you get to see Toadsworth again. Yippee! Alright, let's head over to Petal Meadows. It looks so colorful, beautiful, and the music here makes you want to go outside and start a new adventure. Not to mention how Petalburg is super chill and peaceful, especially with all the Koopas being friendly. When we pipe over to Bogley Woods, you can't help but relax and doze off to the peaceful forest that surrounds you. It looks like something out of the picture of a Japanese anime forest, with white leaves and bamboo festivals to boot. The Punies look so adorable, and the great tree they live in feels like it's a whole other world. One cheap blimp ride later and we've arrived at Glitzville. Not only is sticking your head through a hot dog a lot of fun, you also get to relish in the glory of becoming an MMA fighter and getting those precious W's. There's also the satisfaction of booting up the Game Boy too. Not only that, hearing your boxing opponents actively praise you is the definition of true sportsmanship. Oh, and you actually get to see toads with unique names and literal hair. Despite the scariness of Twilight Town, the blazing orange sunset and bright yellow moon look absolutely beautiful. The residents are also friendly despite their creepy looks. It's also funny as heck to eavesdrop on the crows whilst hiding with a flirty Vivian. And who can possibly forget roasting Dupless? LMAO. Let us raise anchor and set sails for thrills and emotion. Adventuring at sea, exploring Keelhaul Key, and scavenging in the cave sounds really cool in its own right. And seeing all those toads jump their way to freedom is so kawaii. Also, shoutouts to Cortez for being the one boss who joins Mario's side and pilots the seas just like the olden days. Poshley Heights isn't just about a destination, but also the journey to get there. The XS Express looks stunning, and it's a first-class, state-of-the-art luxury train. The scenic views and dining room really slap, and the sunset and nighttime ambience make it even more beautiful. Truly goes to show how Nintendo wants the experience to be quote-unquote romantic. As for when we actually get there, the place really speaks for itself. I don't need to say much more besides the fact that it sure is Poshley. Oh, and the music totally slaps. Later on, seeing the Bob-ombs assembled to power up Big Bob felt incredibly badass. Also, Vivian's wee while spinning towards the moon is so adorable and makes me smile. What's even cuter is how they all experience tons of joy after launching Mario. It's kinda like going on a crazy water slide. Know what I mean? Even though the moon is just rocks everywhere, it still looks beautiful from up here. The star and Chomp constellations in the background go hard, and the terrain kinda looks like cheese. Of course, there's also the satisfaction of defeating Lord Crump and sending that idiot flying out into the infinite void. Get crumpled, Mr. Goggles! Finally, you may be wondering, what the hell is so comfy about the Palace of Shadow? Well, the reason why I'm ranting about it is because it's the very place where Grotus meets the sweet relief of death. Ha! Ripbozo! Oh wait, he's still a floating head. Never mind. But in all seriousness, we've come to what is by far the biggest reason why Thousand Year Door comforts you. And it's all because of one measly word. Love.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me.
Okay, I'll stop. To say that Mario is popular with the girls is a huge understatement. In this game, he flirts with every lady he comes across. Goombella, Flurry, Vivian, the list goes on and on and on! Even Beldam fancied that mustache of his for a teensy bit. What's even crazier is how Miss Flirt-a-lot here makes the others incredibly jealous as if it were a competition. But the best example out of them all is Vivian, who was willing to punish her own sisters severely and stand with Mario in the face of pure evil. It's crazy how the harem guy is so full of attraction while simping for Peach the whole way through. Moreover, I thought it was incredibly bizarre at first to witness a freaking computer trying to flirt with Peach. But despite finding him to be a weird computer and feeling pissed about being captured, she's still incredibly kind to him. Her teaching Tech how to experience true love felt incredibly sweet. Not only that, it was because of love that Tech was willing to defy his masters if it meant keeping her safe. It was because of love that he was able to experience human emotions as an AI. And most importantly, it was because of love that he was willing to sacrifice himself to help Mario save the princess. Truthfully, I haven't seen this level of emotion in a Mario game since Galaxy. But the feeling of love isn't just limited to those two icons. From heartwarming reunions to romantic engagements, everyone's got some love in their soul. Heck, Bowser is so hell-bent on kidnapping his crush from the main villains. And even during the fateful battle against the Shadow Queen, when all hope seems lost, love still persists. Seeing everyone you've ever met express their gratitude and support for Mario was truly epic. Peach being able to fight her possessor and help Mario during the battle really gave me chills. And all these words of never giving up ultimately proves to be the Queen's undoing. In the end, love will always win. Love always reigns supreme. However, the one scene that truly rubs it in for me is none other than the ending. Koops, Bobbery, and Flurry were all able to regain their passions and avenge their loved ones. Yoshi Kid literally gets emotional and sheds a tear for Gonzalez. Heck, both Goombella and Vivian straight up confess their love for Mario. And the scene where the two lovebirds observe the beautiful sunrise is cherry on top. Peach even admits Rogueport is a place full of love despite being kidnapped there. As for Mario, well, after such a tumultuous adventure, he can finally rest easy with the princess he loves. While saying goodbye does feel sad, it's still sweet to see how all of Mario's friends express their love and gratitude to him for helping them in life. And because their brave hearts strove for peace and saved the world, everyone got the happy ending they so heavily desired. Overall, if there's one word to sum up how this masterpiece comforts you, it's none other than love. But the main reason why this game comforts you is because you get to see Toadette, baby! Hooray! After all that backtracking and problem solving, seeing her is a huge relief. I mean, a cute little girl training Mario isn't just adorable, it's a freaking lifesaver! Not to mention the fact that she blushes every time you land a perfect move. Oh, and you better get out your tissues because she actually cries when seeing him for the last time and tries to hold it all in by telling Mario to save Peach. TTYD is all Toadette and always has been.
You forgot your mayonnaise.